Welcome to the eCommerce Network for professionals by professionals.
Hey guys, so I just want to give you a quick note on bringing in the new year 2020. We're a couple weeks into it, and I keep seeing these things all over the place talking about, hey, have 2020 vision and all this stuff, and I start thinking, well, that's kind of dumb, and it's obvious. But then here I am, a week and a half later doing it myself, but for a different purpose. What I really want to walk through is I've realized over the last several years that most brands, most e-commerce managers, really don't have 2020 vision as to what's really going on in their brand. No idea where inventory is leaking from their supply chains. No idea how to quantify their losses or gains in the marketplaces. And before you guys jump out of your screen or send me a bad letter or email or whatever, thumbs down, I don't do that. But yeah, let me explain what I mean. Something I deal with almost on a daily basis is multiple brands explaining to me that they cannot tell how to quantify what the damages are that they're facing on the marketplaces like Amazon or eBay or Walmart.com. And by that, I mean, if they're losing the buy box for a few hours a day, few days a week, few weeks a month, whatever it comes down to, they don't know how much they're actually losing. And in a lot of cases, it's because your brand has never actually had 100% control. A lot of brands that are coming into the marketplaces today are sort of coming in afterwards to where there's already been people out there selling their product, and the product's been doing well, but they have no idea. You don't know what your baseline is. Well, the good news is there's tons of commercial tools available. There's also a lot of consultants available, and Amazon brand managers, full service agencies that can actually help you to be able to quantify what your baseline actually should be, how well your brand does, how well your products do, and be able to break that down on an ASIN by ASIN basis. But to go with that corny 2020 thing, I really think the best thing that you could have 2020 vision on for your brand this year and dealing in e-commerce is you have to be able to see what your baseline is, and you've got to be able to quantify what the losses and the gains actually mean to you. What does it cost you if a few unauthorized sellers come in and actually take the buy box for you? Over which duration of time does that actually add up? So if you lose it for an hour, what's the real costs on your key products, your key ASINs? If you lose it for a week, okay, you need to be able to understand and quantify that. And likewise, you need to be able to understand what the loss of margins could equate to. So if you're forced to break your own MAP price, or if Amazon forces you to, it's not always your fault. If you're forced to break your own MAP price in order to win the buy box, you're still getting the sales, but potentially doing it at a lesser margin. Okay, so what does that actually equate to? Do you have the visual, the ability to see what that is? And again, none of this is really possible, in my opinion, without having a baseline, because without the baseline, you really have nothing to go plus or minus of. And then another thing I would say to look at is what are the rippling effects that go outside of what happens on Amazon, okay? So if you're selling at a decreased margin on Amazon, do you have retail partners or other outlets that are actually now selling in order to compete with the Amazon pricing to be able to maintain their sales in their stores? I know that that's not going to affect your margins firsthand. It's going to affect your business-to-business clients' margins, but does that actually come back in? And that's something you actually might want to start tracking, because that could affect the number of products that are ordered or reordered as you move forward with those partnerships. So the best thing that I could recommend for protecting your brand in 2020 is get 2020 vision and understand what your baseline is, and be able to truly see how different changes in the market as a result of losing sales, losing margins, or gaining them actually affect your brand, and be able to quantify that down to the decimal point. I really hope this helps you guys out a lot.